Ana Caban, brand ambassador for Balanced Body, and we're continuing on our journey navigating our new normal. I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, as is our guest today. Today we have Karen Frischmann. Hey, Karen.
Hi. Hi, Anna. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much for having me here. This has been a great thing. I've been following the interviews that you've had so far, and I just love hearing from everybody and how they're navigating the new normal.
So tell us about yourself for those that don't know you, Karen.
I'm a Pilates instructor from Los Angeles, and for the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, I've been really focusing on offering continuing education to teachers around the world. I've been working in the online space actually since I think 2011. And I would say since 2015, 16, 90% of my business has been online. So this is actually, okay, it's the new normal, but part of it is sort of the old normal as well.
That's so cool. So how is Karen personally navigating the new normal, the daily stresses, the uncertainty?
You know, I went super local. So when all of this started happening, the first thing I did was sign up for a CSA delivery box from the local farmers. And I hooked up with a local butcher that's within walking distance of the house. And so I can place an order and I can walk down, or I can just go down and pick up. You know, I think it's really important now more than ever, always, but now more than ever, to be able to support our local community. I'm making an effort to order takeout from the smaller restaurants in the area, you know, once a week when we can, just to keep that kind of business going. I have been walking as much as I can, something that I do anyway, but just to get out of the house. My kids are at home, they're doing online school, so to get all of us out of the house, we're walking. They protest, but they have to do it anyway. And I've been working out. Like, I'm really lucky and really blessed that my studio is at my home, and even though I can't see students here, I can still get my own Pilates workouts in. And interestingly enough, since I'm not driving kids around all afternoon, I have a little extra time for a workout.
Yeah, you had told me about your carpooling duties.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty,
yeah, carpooling.
and responsibility.
Right, yeah. So, and you know what? I've been cooking a lot. I love to cook. I don't usually have the time to cook the way that I like to. And having the kids at home, I'm teaching them to cook as well. They have the time right now. So every night, one's on prep, one's on grill, and I kind of supervise, which is great.
That's amazing. We did that today. You know, it's Friday, and on my child's lesson plan for the week, it said, find a recipe, look at the recipe, you know, break it down, create your own recipe. I just said to Vincent, let's make a hot dog, but you're going to make it. Super simple. Grab the hot dog, boil the water, but he did it, and he made his lunch. So I had culinary.
Yeah, I found, I found flour, which was remarkable in these days. But I couldn't find yeast. So my son and I started a sourdough starter about a week ago. We named him Seymour, and we are going to make our first loaf of sourdough tomorrow. So that's kind of exciting. We'll see. It may be a pancake, but you know, yeast is a good project.
Yum. Awesome. So professionally, you've been in this space for years. Not much has changed for you, right? As far as what you're offering, what's changed?
Well, I think that a lot's changed. So yes, I've been in this space, but I'm also doing a lot of outreach to teachers right now, you know, to be able to help them get their businesses online, to figure out ways to get their students comfortable with being in the online space. And I'm also starting to do more and larger group classes. So most of the work that I've done has either been one-on-one or small groups, like up to 8 or 12. And so now I'm pushing the boundaries with classes. I'm doing more old school workouts. So again, my work is for teachers, and so these group workouts are for for them. But the great part about it is that they get to do their own workout. They get to come together as a community. And I think it's so, so important now, because we're all really isolated in our homes, that we can get together and we can talk and we can put together, you know, some kind of conversation so that we know that we're not alone in this, because we are not alone. The whole world's in it with us, which is weird.
It is. It's remarkable, because this could be something just California's dealing with, right? You and I, oh no, what's going on in LA? No, it's the entire world. It's crazy.
And you know, oh, I'm sorry. No, I was
No,
going to say that it's, you know, I'm always trying to focus on the positive, and this is a really terrible, scary thing, but there are small moments of small gifts that are coming out of it, and I'm seeing it all over. There's a great, the cast of Evan Hansen did something for James Corden, which was beautiful. And on these online classes, because we have the benefit of working without physical borders in the internet, in the virtual space, you can have teachers from all over the world talking and sharing ideas and the way that they're coping and the ways that they're helping their students and how they're being innovative. And that is a really beautiful thing.
I love all of that. What about a tip, Karen? Because especially you've been in this space, what is a tip you might want to share with the instructors watching here?
Know that it's not going to be perfect, and that there will be, particularly because the entire world is online right now, that there will be technical glitches at some point. So the things I would say is, number one, always have a backup plan. So if everything is working on Zoom, have another format that you are comfortable and familiar with, so that if you can't get online on your chosen platform, you have a go-to and you have a way to contact your students with your plan B. You know, the more prepared you are, the better off you are, and know that we're all figuring this out together, and just to be kind to yourself as you're figuring out all of this online thing, and know that your students are going to be as gracious as well, because they're figuring it out too.
Agree. I totally agree with you. Like, give yourself some grace and know that we are all in our own way adjusting to this.
Yeah.
So Karen, I know you a little bit, but I'm sure there's a lot about you I don't know, and maybe more that some of these new guests watching don't know about you. So what would you share about you that most people don't know or would never suspect?
I used to fly trapeze.
Did not know that.
That before I had my kids, it was my obsession. There was somebody in Los Angeles who came from a circus family who had a full rig in their backyard, and I used to go, you know, it started out as a small obsession and then grew. I think I was there 3 or 4 days a week. I'm like, there is nothing more fun and more frightening than going up on a tiny platform 30 feet up and jumping off because you want to. It's amazing.
I'm going to beg to differ, because I went to Mexico on vacation 10 years ago. My son was like just a year old or 6 months old, and I got on their trapeze setup they had there, and a friend of mine was filming it. It's on YouTube, guys. You can look for this. They're filming it, and I'm going up the ladder. It doesn't look that high. And as I'm going up, I'm like laughing and crying, like, I can't keep going. And the person at the top saying, no, the only way down is from here. You can't go down the ladder. So I'm going up and up, and my friend is shaking the camera while he's filming it because he's laughing at watching me. So I get to the top, they strap me in, and I go, and my hands are sweating, so I'm afraid I'm going to lose the grip. And I go and I do a couple swings, and they say, tuck your legs and put them around the bar, and then you'll get a somersault, dismount, backflip to get off. And when I was done, you're right, it was like, oh, that was amazing. But let me tell you, I don't know if I'd do it again. I was terrified.
You know, it's so funny because it was it's something I had always wanted to do. my sister actually found the rig, and she went with me, and we went. And the first time I went, I got caught. So the catcher caught me, and it was so amazing. And the two of us did it, and I was terrified. I got down, and I could not wait to go back. She was terrified. She got down, and she would never go back.
Really? It was her idea?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was awesome.
That is really cool. Well, maybe we could do a fun circus day one day, you and I, here in Los Angeles.
That would be great, and I know exactly the place to go.
All right, cool. So I'd like to end these interviews with something funny, silly. We know I've done dances. You'll see if you haven't seen that one yet. Skirts have fallen off. So, you know, you have something funny you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, so I've been in the online space for a long time, and my kids, when I started to teach online, were young. So I think my youngest was 4 or 5, and my oldest was like 6 or 7. And so I was in the house, and we had to set up rules and guidelines when they were home about working from home. And I know that every parent who's at home right now will be able to relate to this. So we had to set up rules about when they could interrupt and when they couldn't, because they were constantly coming in while I was teaching. And they were little kids, so the rule was, okay, they would say, well, if the house is on fire, can we come in? Yes, if the house is on fire, we can come in. If the cat is on fire, yes, if the cat is on fire. If I'm on fire, can I come in? Yes, absolutely. If you're on fire, if you come in.
No.
Well, what if my brother hits me? No, you cannot come in. I'm sorry, figure it out, and we'll deal with it when I'm done. Well, what if I'm bleeding? Yes, if you're bleeding, you can come in. So then one day I'm teaching, and my little one comes in, and he goes, the cat scratched me, and he had this little tiny speck of blood. So we had to go, okay, so you have to be bleeding a lot. And they're little boys, and they're like,
dripping blood, yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, you mean like a puddle of blood on the ground? Because they're little boys. And I was like, yes. So I'm teaching one day, and the camera is facing towards the door, so I'm facing away from it, and I can see as I'm talking to the student, and the door opens, and my little one walks in, and he sees that I'm teaching, and his eyes get as big as saucers, and he goes, I'm not bleeding, there's no way on fire, nothing's on fire, there's no earthquake, and he closes the door, and that was it.
Just giving you a state of the union, you know, in case you didn't realize, Karen.
Nothing's happening, and I'm leaving.
That's awesome. Well,
So anyway,
children's experiences are always the funniest.
Oh my God. So my sister sent this to me last week, and I don't know if it's going to come forward or back, but I'm going to read it because it was hilarious. I think it showed up on Facebook or somewhere. So what it says is, Mom is in a meeting. She gives the time with a big circle and a cross through it. Do not enter. Explanations, everything. The answer to your question might be here, and they're all boxed in. Upstairs, in the wash. I don't know what's for dinner. No. In your bedroom, piece of fruit. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. It covers everything.
You needed that 8 years ago or something.
Oh, I was like, that woman, that sign, everybody needs that, because we are all trying to figure out online school and working from home in the online space and all of that, all in the same house. So anyway.
We're all in it together. That's hysterical. I love it, Karen. Thanks for spending some time with me, with us, everyone out there today.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Thank you so much, Anna. This has been great.
And we'll see you guys very soon. Take care. Bye.
All right, bye.